Hey everybody, it's Felicia Stitzel with Vintage Wine Marketing and welcome to today's Wine Wednesday. So today I just wanted to go over a couple of the trends that are going to be coming out for 2019 that you guys should definitely be implementing right now. So this is going to be a real quick video because I know last week we were talking about bots and that's a really deep subject. So I just wanted to do something that was a little bit shorter but really, really important little tips about the certain trends that the wine industry is seeing and how we can correlate that to using it in marketing, social media, and to get ultimately more people through your front doors. So I've got three major tips here. There's a ton more, but we're going to hit the top three. The first one is to humanize your brand. And we've talked a lot about this, is about sharing your story. Everybody wants to know who you are, what makes you special. And it's not that you are a family-owned boutique hand or artisanal crafted wines. No, that's not your story. And if that's your story, you need to change your story and make it more because if that's all your story is, then you and 1,000 other wineries within a throwing distance of Good Rock are all sound exactly the same. So what makes you you? What makes your wine, your brand specific? Now, one thing that I wanted to add into this is also there are mistakes that happen. There are challenges that come up, whether it's in business or it's in life, if it's in the winery or if it's in the wine itself, if it's in a video that you did. I know I mess up in videos all the time, but a lot of the times I actually let you guys see that I am messing up in my own videos because I want you to understand that I am a human. I know what I'm talking about. That doesn't always mean that I'm good at doing these videos. I struggle with these videos sometimes, but I want you to be able to see that human factor, because that makes me an approachable person. I am a human, though on the other side of this camera, I'm a human, and that means that we all come with our human factor of that we make mistakes and there's complications, and sometimes you just have a bad day, and that's okay. Let your customers see that, because if you let your customers see that, they are going to be able to see that you are an approachable winery. You're not one that they need, especially if they're new to the wine industry, they're not going to have to be nervous about coming up to your front door and asking to taste your wine. They know that you're going to be approachable because of the content that you're putting out. So that's tip number one, is that, you really want to humanize your brand. And this isn't just in publicizing your mistakes. It's also doing something simple as doing a video around your tasting room and introducing your tasting room staff. Make sure that there is a major human element that is going into your brand, into your wines, and the content that you put out for everybody else to see. Because the more that you're able to do that, the more relatable that you are going to be to customers, not only now, but future customers as well. So it's going to help you out in the long run. The next one is metrics matter. And this is something that has been talked about a lot in the wine industry, especially in the last couple of years, is that the numbers matter. And the reason why the numbers matter is that how do you know where your customers are coming from? Did you ask? Did you collect their email information or ask if they wanted to be a part of your exclusive mailing list so that they can stay in the loop about what's going on? If you don't have the numbers to back up, it's almost like if you had a cable company who said that we are the best in the United States, trust us. They don't have the numbers to back it up. If they don't have the numbers to back it up, why should you believe them? So very similar is that if you don't have the numbers to back up your information, how do you know how to better different channels of your marketing efforts, your team training, your wine club membership? How do you know how to improve yourself if you don't ask the questions and if you don't have that data? So that's why I said metrics absolutely matter, because it's not just collecting an email address and sending them on their way. It's finding out, well, how did you hear about us? Was it Google? Was it social media? And this doesn't just apply to your tasting room. The best information or the best tidbit I ever heard for any industry was listen to your customers. I actually heard that at a conference last year, was the greatest thing that any business owner can do is do something simple like go to a wine bar or a cafe or a restaurant and listen to the people around you, to listen to what are the things that they're talking about. What are the topics that are being brought up? How are they communicating with their friends? These are the exact same things that you are going to be able to use and adapt and curate for your own use within the winery. Go to somebody else's winery, or hell, even just sit in your own tasting room for an afternoon, take a laptop or a book or whatever, and just sit in your own tasting room and listen to what your customers are saying. It's amazing the kind of information that you're going to be able to hear and understand from a customer's perspective by just sitting down and listening. So, and the same thing applies on the other end, not just physically in the tasting room, but the same thing on your social media sites. What are your customers talking about? What's important to them? And more importantly, what are they sharing with their friends that now you can use in your own ways to communicate with them? So, like I said, that has a lot of different strings and tentacles and octopus arms going off in different directions. So that one we will dig into another week. But just remember, metrics matter. You need to know what the numbers are so that way your data can back up what your efforts are. The last one is video marketing. I know we have talked about video marketing a lot. And the reason why we're doing that is because it's important. Video is absolutely important. So this is why I'm going to say we're going to go 4K on you right now. Is I want you to be able to understand that by the year 2021, 80%, there's a study going on right now that is to believe that by the year 2021, which is 2 years from now, 80% of content that is being absorbed by consumers on the internet is all going to be done through video. Which means that if you are not doing video right now, get on it. Take your cell phone. Like right now, I'm doing my Wine Wednesday on my cell phone. I've done it on my computer. I've done it on somebody else's cell phone. I've done it on my big fancy camera. I've done it with my whole production facility that I have set up, my whole studio. I mean, we're talking you can go absolutely basic or you can go absolutely professional. But whatever you do, make sure that your brand is being displayed predominantly. Whatever your core values are, your mission statement, make sure that your brand, all your content stays within your branding. And just do it. I mean, it's just so important that you just get out there and start doing videos. Do videos of your bottling or when you're out in the fields pruning, because I know pruning season is going on right now for a lot of wineries, especially here in the Northwest. Get out there and take some video and talk to the camera about what you're doing. What do you look for? Why are you pruning certain things? Because the more that you can create content in just doing your everyday things around the winery, these things are going to actually help build out your library and you're going to be able to do so much with it. So this is why I say you have got to be doing video. So those are my 3 tidbits. Is you need to humanize your brand. Metrics matter, so you need to make sure that you're collecting data and have numbers to back up everything that you're doing, and video marketing. You've got to be doing it. All 3 of those things, and honestly, all 3 of those things in some form or another actually tie into one another. So I just want you to understand how important these things are, because these are the trends that are going to be defining this year. So, and I want you guys to be having a great year. So, like I said, we needed to take a break from the bots. I've been talking about bots for a couple weeks. I'm really thankful that you guys joined me on this week's Wine Wednesday. If you have any questions about how to do any of the 3 topics that we talked about, email me below. Or if you do have any questions about bots, like we've talked about in previous weeks, send me a message, email me, whatever it is. I love to answer your questions. And I look forward to talking to you guys all next week. Have a good weekend. I'll talk to you guys later.